Hello students, myself Miss Nidhi Burana. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to start with Standard 8 1.3 poem that is a Pilgrim. So let's begin. Before we start with analyzing the poem, let's know certain facts about the poem and the poet. Although the origin is not clear, that means who has written this poem is not clear. That's the reason the instead of the name of the poet, it is written as anonymous, which means that the name of the poet is unknown. Okay, so as the origins are not clear, it is likely that this poem was before known to be as the builder in the year 1900. Then it was renamed as the bridge builder. Okay, since its publication only, this poem has become a fairly popular poem that is often quoted within the fraternal organization and used as a moral lesson to learn. The main theme of this masterpiece are hard work, perseverance, confidence, generosity, and the message that the poet wanted to give to all of us over here was work for the future and for the betterment of those around you. You will learn much more things and many more lessons while doing this poem. So, moving ahead with this session, here we have the poem A Pilgrim. As I always say, that recite the poem again and again and again so it becomes easier for you to find the answers in the exam. Okay? So, starting with reciting the poem, the name of the poem, the title of the poem is A Pilgrim. A pilgrim going a lone highway came at evening, cold and grey, to a chasm deep and vast and wide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The chasm held no fear for him, but he paused when he reached the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, why waste your time in building here? Your journey ends with the close of the day. You never again will pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build ye here at eventide? The pilgrim raised his old grey head. My friend, indeed, there followeth after me today a fair-headed youth who must pass this way. The chasm which had no fears for me had to fair-haired youth may a pitfall be? He too must cross in the twilight dim. My friend, I am building this bridge for him. Written as anonymous. Okay, so as we are done reciting the poem, you might have not understood what the poet and his feelings are, but you will surely understood by end of the session completely. So let's begin with the analysis of the poem quickly. But remember two things while reciting the poem. Two things you should learn while reciting the poem. The first thing is the title of the poem, and the second thing is the name of the poet. It will make your appreciation writing easier. Okay, so two things you have to learn it right away, that is the title and the name of the poet. So moving ahead, a pilgrim going a lone highway. Now over here, the pilgrim going a lone highway. Pilgrim going a lone highway. When we talk about lone highway, lone over here means a highway which is deserted. Okay, where there is no one. And what does the word pilgrim means? Pilgrim means a person who journeys to some sacred place. Okay, for religious reasons. जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना चार धाम यात्रा पर जाना. Okay, that is called a pilgrimage. और जो ये pilgrimage पे जाता है, जो ये यात्रा पर जाता है, उसे कहा जाता है pilgrim. So here there was one pilgrim who was going a lone highway, who was walking on a highway, a deserted highway alone. Okay, moving ahead. Came at evening cold and grey. As you can see, while the pilgrim was walking, and walking, now the sun is going to set. The evening is already there. And how is the evening? Evening is cold and grey. Over here, the grey means quite dull. As the sun has already about to set, the sky has become dull. The evening is looking very cold and grey. Grey means dull. A chasm deep and vast and wide. Okay, what does the word chasm means? Chasm means a deep or a narrow opening in a rock or a ice. In our case, we are talking about the rock. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, students, there is a chasm there. Chasm in a simple word I can say, खाई जो होती है ना, दो रॉक्स के बीच में एक बहुत बड़ा सा गैप होता है, द खाई व्हाट वी कॉल, और द वैली व्हाट वी कैन से. ओके, सो यहाँ पे वो खाई, वो वैली की हम बात कर रहे हैं, दैट इज अ chasm. ओके, नाउ व्हाइल पिलग्रिम वाज वॉकिंग, इट इज already evening. He has reached to a point where there is a chasm, and this chasm is very deep and vast and wide. Okay, as you can already see on the screen, students, the old man crossed in the twilight dim. Now, this old man, already it was evening, and in that twilight dim, the old man has crossed that chasm. Now, what does twilight dim means? Twilight means that soft glowing light which falls from the sky when sun is below the horizon. To make it simpler, ये जो सनसेट के आसपास का टाइम होता है या सनराइज के आसपास का टाइम होता है, तो आप स्काई में देख सकते हो वो कंप्लीटली सनी भी नहीं होता, कंप्लीटली डल भी नहीं होता. ओके, सो द पीरियड ऑफ डॉन और डस्क, दैट इज द पीरियड नोन टू बी एज अ ट्वाइलाइट. Okay, where there is a glowing light coming from the sky. So in that twilight dim, the old man has crossed the chasm. You can see on the screen, students, there are two rocks and in between there is a river flowing. So the old man has crossed this chasm. The chasm held no fear for him. As you can see on the screen, students, this chasm held no fear for him. Okay, he paused when he reached the other side. He paused for a moment. He waited over there after crossing the chasm. Now you students must be thinking कि अब तो old man ने cross कर दिया है chasm. Why is he waiting over there? Let's see. After crossing the chasm, he paused over there. Paused means to stop over there. What did he do after stopping there? And built a bridge to span the tide. Yes, my dear students, the old man, after crossing the chasm, he stopped over there to build a bridge. Okay, he built a bridge so that during the time of tide, during the time of rising or the falling of the sea, the chasm can be crossed easily. So that's the reason the old man was building the bridge over there. He built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, why waste your time in building here? Now, with old man, there was one more fellow person traveling with him. Fellow means एक और साथ में जो इंसान है जर्नी के दौरान, that person is known to be as your fellow pilgrim. Okay, so old man, why waste your time in building here? That fellow person has asked the old man that why are you wasting your time in building this bridge? What did the old man answer? Let's see. Your journey ends with the close of the day. You never again will pass this way. Now this was a sentence continued by the fellow man only. Fellow man said over here that, oh my dear old man, आपकी जर्नी अब यहाँ से खत्म हो जाती है. आप यहाँ से वापस तो नहीं जाने वाले हो उस chasm के साइड. You are not going to cross the same chasm again. Right? You have already crossed it once. Then why are you building this bridge over here? This was a question asked by the fellow man. Let's see further. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build here at even tide? Why are you building this over here? There is no need to build it over here, that too at even tide. Even tide means that is at the end of the day. आपने already देखा था कि जब वो पिलग्रिम चलते जा रहे थे, it was already evening. When he reached to the chasm, it was already twilight. Right? He crossed it in the twilight dim. Right? So after crossing it, after making the bridge, the fellow person was asking that why are you building this at even tide? That means at the end of the day during the evening period. Why are you building this, old man? The pilgrim raised his old grey head. Now, listen this thing very carefully, my students. The stanza is very important. Let's see what answer old man gave to the fellow man. The pilgrim raised his old grey head. Old grey head means his hair has become like salt and pepper. है ना, हम बुढ़े हो जाते तो कैसे white बाल, yeah. So the pilgrim raised his old grey head. My friend, in the path I have come, he said. Now what the old man is trying to say, that my friend, हम जिस रास्ते से अभी अभी आए हैं, there followed after me today a fair-headed youth who must pass this way. Yeah, there followed after me today. Followed after me today means, followed is a old English word which means follows. Okay? So मेरे यहाँ से गुजर जाने के बाद भी कुछ और भी पिलग्रिम होंगे जो इसी रास्ते से आएंगे. The fair-headed youth. The fair-haired youth means हमारी बात की generation, the next generation. Okay, the youth generation who must also pass this way. जो शायद इसी रास्ते से गुजरेगी. The chasm which held no fears for me, to the fair-headed youth, may a pitfall be. So thoughtful of the poet over here. What did the old man reply to the fellow man? Old man said that this chasm, this ये जो खाई थी, इससे मुझे बिल्कुल डर नहीं लगा. मैंने इसे क्रॉस कर दिया, पर शायद वो fair-haired youth means the young generation who is going to follow me after my pilgrim and may follow the same route, may a pitfall be. हो सकता है उनके लिए ये डिफिकल्ट हो सकता है उन्हें ये डेंजरस लगे, राइट. सो इसीलिए ओल्ड मैन ने ये ब्रिज बनाया था. ही टू मस्ट क्रॉस इन द ट्वाइलाइट डिम. हो सकता है नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, द नेक्स्ट पिलग्रिम व्हेन ही रिचेस ओवर देयर, द यंग पर्सन हु रिचेस ओवर देयर, शायद उसे भी ये chasm, ये खाई पार करनी पड़े ट्वाइलाइट डिम में, just like the old man. My friend, I am building this bridge for him. And the poet, the old man over here says that, my friend, he is saying these lines to his fellow pilgrim, that I am building this bridge for that person who is going to follow the same route after me. Understood, students? I hope this poem was very easier to understand, right? But you know, this poem, I like this poem, and the reason behind it is it gives a very good message. अब इस पोएम से आपको क्या सीखने मिला, आप मुझे कमेंट बॉक्स में बताइएगा. बट आई शेयर माई थॉट्स विथ यू गाइज. द पोएम depicts over here a old man, right, who close to the end of his days decides to spend his time building a bridge, right. वो क्या कर रहा है, वो एक ब्रिज बिल्ड कर रहा है. वो ब्रिज जिससे कि वो गुजरने नहीं वाला, he is not even going to need that bridge, still he builds up. He crosses over a chasm and then once safely to the other side decides to build a bridge. He is so he doesn't think as a selfish point. वो बिल्कुल selfish नहीं है. He is a person who is very selfless. उन्होंने तो chasm पार कर लिया था, but later on he again went and built the whole bridge, right? So this is an example of a selfless. Okay, and the passerby also questioned him that why are you building the bridge? And his answer was very clear that I am not building it for myself, I am building it for anyone who comes after me. है ना. Old man ने उस fellow man को क्या explain किया था, that he is building the bridge not for himself, क्योंकि वो कभी ये bridge use नहीं करने वाले हैं, but for anyone who comes after him, right. यही explain किया था ना. Yes, उन्होंने यहाँ पे fear, tide, ऐसे words use किए which we can relate to it, right. So the poet has given a moral message to all of us that we should care about others. Okay, when there is no obligation to do so, but still you need to care about others and think about the betterment of those around you. Think about the next generation. Think about what the generation after you is going to use if you completely destroy the resources. Okay, so it is advisable that you should also preserve the environment, because after the next generation, even they should get a healthy environment, right. They should get to see all that we are seeing. So always live your life thinking about the future and for the betterment for those around you. So here we are done with the analysis of the poem. I hope you have understood it. Also, if you like the poem, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. Moving ahead to the glossary part, I have already discussed the meaning of the poem. मैंने discuss की है. Still एक बार हम quick go through करते हैं इस meaning को. Pilgrim means a person who journeys to a sacred place, a pure place. यात्रा पर जाना, जैसे चार धाम यात्रा, for religious reason. Grey means dull. Chasm means a deep, narrow opening in a rock or ice. Twilight, A soft glowing light from the sky when sun is below the horizon. Dawn or dusk, you can say. Span means a distance between 2 points, especially the time distance. Tide, the alternate rising and falling of the sea. Fellow, you already know, students, other pilgrim during the journey. Ye year at. Now this is an old English word. It means this year at. Ye means this. Eventide means the evening or the end of the day, you can say. Followeth means follows. Pitfall means a hidden or unsuspected danger or the difficulty that you face on your way. So with this, we are done with the glossary also. Very soon, you will get the other videos also of the other chapters. So stay tuned. Also, thank you so much for your time. And do let me know if you need any other video or any other writing skills or grammar video. I'll be happy to hear you out. Thank you once again. Subscribe to my channel as I am going to post the appreciation of this poem very soon. Thank you so much once again.